Are you okay?
I just had the worst dream. Ah!
Are you okay?
Oh, thank God it's you.
Welcome to Flanders Game TCG, your home for One Piece content. In this episode, I'll be going over Gecko Moria for OP13. The reason I got onto Gecko Moria is that I found that all the meta decks at the moment had really key cards that they wanted to keep in hand and play, and I found that they had a lot of removals, so I wanted to be able to play big creatures. So the 8 cost event from Ace, the 10 cost from Emu, just aiming to just not have to deal with them by trashing them. So this is into the deck list. So starting off, we've got the Gecko Moria leader, which has the 1 Don when attacking, for cost of 2 Don. You may trash 1 card from your hand and 2 cards from the top of your deck and play a Thriller Bark with a cost of 4 or less. So I run 3 Thriller Barks in this. This allows you to play a 2 cost rested for 1 if you are a Thriller Bark leader, and has to be a Thriller Bark type character. So this is nice to play out some cheap early bodies or some blockers at rested, which kind of become a pseudo blocker. I then run 2 Shirahoshis. This allows us to trash an opponent's card from hand if they have 6 or more of the opponent's choice, just by putting 2 cards from our trash to the bottom of the deck, which we do have a lot of. We've got Sindri. This is a staple in the deck. It's if your leader is still the Bark Pirates, you can trash the top 5 cards of your deck. This is kind of one of our openers and is also a great 2k. Then we've got Anupe. This has on play and on KO. If your leader has Thriller Bark, you can draw 2 trash 2. This helps us kind of cycle through our hand and make sure that we're seeing what we want to see, and also by filling up our trash for our abilities. We then run 4 Cerberuses. This is our cheap blocker that can come out of Thriller Bark or from leader effect. And the main point of having 4 of them is just we want to have this as consistent as possible, as it's always a late game savior. We then run 4 Perona. This is a 2k that also on play will strip a card from your opponent's hand if they have 5 or cards or more, or will give something -3 cost during the turn. This is just a great hand removal tool that is the aim of the deck. Then we've got 2 of another Perona. This Perona allows you to place 2 Thriller Bark type characters from your trash to the bottom of your deck and give something +2k, so it helps us with our aggro. We've got Absol, does another returning cards to the bottom of the deck and KOing a 2 cost, so this is mainly used to kill cheeky blockers. We then run 3 Ryuma. This is a 4 cost that can have 1 Don underneath it and gain double attack. This helps refill our opponent's hands as we can go through and keep stripping them. We've got Hogback. This is our kind of our searcher in a way. It allows us to return cards back to our bottom of the deck and add cards to hand. And this can also add events, which is really important, which you'll see later on. We then run 3 Rob Lucci's. This has, again, a similar effect of placing cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck, and then you can your opponent has to remove a card from hand, and then you can place one of your opponent's cards from their trash at the bottom of their deck. This is great against Emu. You can start putting those Saints at the bottom of the deck, ruining the 10 cost combo. We then run 4 Gecko Morias. This allows you to play a 4 cost and add a rested Don to a character or leader. So this helps us build a wider board and kind of helps us close out games. Then we've got 2 Mars. This is just a nice blocker that will be able to have unremovable because we also trash a lot of cards and can remove something on play. We have 3 Stussy for the Ace matchup to be able to deal with any of these high cost bodies if they do end up drawing or playing them. This is also great into Roger. We run 4 negative hollows, so this is kind of an MVP of the deck, and you can trash a card for your opponent's hand, but this one is done at random rather than their choice. So this is how we kind of get rid of those 10 costs, is we putting our opponents on a very low amount of cards and then using this to strip it away. And because once it's in trash, they can't use it. And then we've got 3 Black Vortexes. This allows you to negate an opponent's leader or character effect and give -4000. This is really versatile and is really great into the Zoro matchup where we can stop them from swinging through. Next up, I've got a line guide for just the first few turns as Gecko and just kind of show what some baseline structure of the deck would look like. So starting off, an ideal turn could look like Sindri. Playing Sindri and revealing trashing those top 5 cards is really useful, as it allows us to set up for our following turns for playing a 4 cost. You can play Thriller Bark, and I'll show that in an example in the video. That allows us just to bring out 2 costs when we want, especially in Nupes, as they can help us cycle if we need to look for a specific card in a certain matchup. Or we've got a Nupe itself, which is kind of nice going second. And also just another highlight, you can also do play negative holo second. It's okay, sometimes you kind of want to be able to strip their hand back a little bit first before playing it, but it is also possible. And playing a Nupe first just allows us to, again, cycle. Going into the second turn, it is ideally to play a Perona and strip a card from hand, start setting up that negative holo for later. Or we can start playing some nice 2 blocks, 2 cost blockers, using the Thriller Bark and just doing a swing, or a Nupe. Or you can play any other 4 costs if you need to do a certain thing, such as Absalon to get rid of something, or Hogback to draw something from hand, or even Ryuma to start putting up some early pressure. The following turn, you want to be playing a 4 cost of any nature that kind of suits what you need to be doing. Aggressively, if you want to play, if you're playing aggressively, you can kind of lean into Perona and Ryuma. If you're playing a bit more hand control and you need to lean into that, you can go into Hogback for the negative holos, or Perona to keep trashing their cards in hand if you keep playing it. And then finally, for that third turn, you want to be trying to play a negative holo, or at least some kind of 2 cost as well. Then finally, for the last turn, we want to be playing either a kind of a big body and setting ourselves up, or we can revert back to one of our third turn plays, but maybe adding an additional 4 cost in there, or a little bit of stronger attacks. If we are playing one of the bigger bodies, Lucci's always nice, as it will strip cards away from our opponent's hand no matter what their hand size is, or Gecko for building a wider board to then set up the following turn to be even stronger with a wide range attack. But yeah, that's generally how you want to be playing the early game. A lot of it is trying to get a well-established graveyard. Once you start using your abilities, it will whittle away quite quickly. But yeah, I'll lead you into some gameplay. Be an example of us versus a Emu. Potentially this could be a keep hand, because we do have the negative holos, and that is kind of our main game plan. But we also might want a mulligan, as we don't have any 4-drops or anything to drop. So we're just going to go for a mulligan just to be safe and try and see something that's a bit more standard to see. So we don't have an initial 1-drop, so we just drop Thriller Bark here and end turn. It gives us a little bit more options, especially if we draw into any 2 costs. But at least we do have a 4-drop to play next turn. They're going to play a classic, look at the top 3 and trash the rest. So they've already trashed 2 Saints. We want to make sure we keep aware of what they're trashing here, because we want to be able to bounce one of those back using Lucci. The fact also that they're just dropping all the Saints early gives me a vibe that they probably already have 10 cost in hand. Just because they're not really looking to play them, or they potentially have others there. So we'll just start off with a general attack, making sure that we toss Perona, but this time we're lucky enough to hit the other Perona and force them to trash a card. Ideally, we want to let them trash early, though it is helpful for their game plan. We kind of want to whittle down their hands before they've only got like 1 or 2, with one of them being the 10 cost, so we can try and get a higher chance of rocking that out using negative holo. Typically, also, they tend to trash for the attack following attack by Gecko, just trying to save up as much life as possible. Yep, so they've tossed another Saint. So Lucci would looking really good in this matchup for us. Yep, and as predicted. Here we're most likely going to see the 3 using the stage to play the 4 cost that draws Saturn. And leaving 1 up for protection, maybe a 5 swing in. Potentially a 6k swing in if they want to try and take some early life. Ideally a 6k swing in. So they go ahead and play a blocker, 2 of them, trashing the top cards of their deck, that's one of the 10 costs as well. So good to know that they've got 1 missing. As I said, we'll take it because this is the whole reason. We want to be able to see negative holo and try trigger it. And get a 10 cost like this. This is the game plan. And then we draw into Hogback. So this is kind of a perfect turn for us here. So we'll start off with just a general 5 swing. Odds are that they will take it. Nope. Then I'll chuck 1 underneath. Use this to trash Hogback. I'll then play Hogback to put this and a Nupe or Cerberus or Perona. I suspect we're going to want to be a little bit more aggressive. It might be too late for a Nupe to draw negative holo back to hand. And we trash another one. Selling turn, looking to be on 7. If they were to kill the Hogback, that would be quite ideal, but we might have to wait a turn. Drawing a Hogback would be quite strong right now, or even in a Nupe for Thriller Bark. Oh. Playing the Saint, going to rush down the Perona, which is fine. Perona being in trash just gives us another option to use it. Going for face, which is even better. Pray for a negative holo. Going to give this one a 3 and then just swing in there. But that's alright. Perfect, we got Hogback. That means we'll be stripping another one of these cards and really limiting their resources. Also looking probably to swing into board now, just so that we're safe. We'll let that resolve. Drawing an Absol here would be quite nice as well. But we know we're having to toss the next card. So, knowing that we've got 3, 5 reserved, we've got 2 aside, giving me to be able to put at least 1 across on each, so we'll be doing 6k swings. Starting off here. Big decision for them here. If they toss a 2k or something to protect it, that's not going to look so well, or they block, which was expected, but that's why we're going to do 6 into here and strip a card from hand. So the way we'll do this is use card's action. We need to toss the Hogback. To deploy the Hogback, use card action. We're going to put a Cerberus away because we've already got 2 of them, and probably a Perona. I feel like we've got good control of the hand, and they're not really going to be gaining a lot. And use that to grab negative holo back. Now, if they use anything to protect this, it's a guaranteed loss of both cards in hand. Also in a nice spot to just play a quick Cerberus and trash another card, leaving them on 1. From here, they have to kind of swing into Hogback because of the fact that we're going to keep establishing this pressure, which means that we'll be able to continue the loop of playing it and negative holo again. Currently trash and searching. Looking to play a blocker. And a searcher. They will be revealing what they have last card in hand, so we'll see if it's another 10 cost. It is just a 1 cost. They're probably going to play this again. And they reveal another search. Yep, they don't swing into Hogback, so that's ideal, but now that means we'll have a lot more attack. Here, we don't mind taking it because we look for negative holos all the time, and if they hit, we do it. That's amazing. Here at this turn, we kind of want to be doing a few chips and then establishing Gecko Moria, as we won't be winning this turn, but probably the next turn. So we'll start off with just a 5 swing. They most likely will block to draw a card, maybe looking for a 10 cost, or not. Then we'll do 6 into... Oh. Six into that, putting one under this, yeah, that's fine. Deploy this, choose a friendly target. Then we'll do this, sending this and this to the bottom to buff this up. Swing in for 7. They have drawn the 10 cost. So now that they played the 10 cost, what do we do? We guarantee another life gone. I think, and just swing in with 7 here. And don't use the use the action to keep Black Spiral. Yep. They're going to draw a card, but they're going to just be playing a 10 cost using this. We just need to get up as much as possible. Alright. So have we nerfed them enough? Or will the 10 drops be too much? Not a lot of counter in hand. We have a lot of Stussies. These are normally really good in the Ace matchup, but obviously we're not playing against Ace. There's also an element where I didn't need to swing as much last turn to try and stop something like this happening. I'm still messing around with that tempo where maybe I only attack like a couple times, only giving them a couple of cards in hand and then try push through. But because I had the Gecko Moria, I wanted to try to play as wide as possible to try and basically force my way through a 10 cost. They're swinging at face. I think I have to take, because I want to have as much protection for my characters. Yep. If they do a huge mess up, if they swing with Emu first right here. Yeah. Yep. Most likely they're going to KO Cerberus, or maybe one of the 4 costs and swing into another 4 costs. Okay, so they've got another 10 costs, so we know they've got 1 brick in hand at least. Oh, yep, that was from Mars. They're hitting face. Giving something minus 2,000. I believe this is a good spot where I take the hit because it's basically banking. I'm banking on next turn no matter what. And I can use this for the following. So no block or resolve. No trigger. No blocker, nullify, and then that. And we'll have our turn to swing back. And we draw a negative holo. Absolutely huge. They have no Don, so this is only... So we'll just trash 1 first. Being the 10 costs, if we do lose, it's not too bad. So we can go 7. 7 was 8. Yeah, I think I need to go another 7 here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Another 7. Cool. I'm gonna go 7 here. 7 can make that 7. Yeah, let's go another 7. Return 2. I think 8/8's just a guarantee here. No Don up. I could stack, but I think just going 8/8's fine. Yep. Even if you have the 2 2s. I mean the 2 and the 1. I've got another swing. GG. And that is the goal of Gecko. So thanks everyone for catching out the video. Just want to say a huge shout out to all the support that's been coming to the channel so far. Honestly, you guys are all amazing. And thank you so much for watching and just seeing all these different decks I'm cooking up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any recommendations for how I could change up this deck, chuck it below, or any other decks you'd like me to play. Up next, I'll just have a little layout of the deck list, or printed laid out, so you can kind of copy it if you'd like and give it a go. The sim code should be in the description. Catch you later.